All right, to watch this video for Friday, September 7th. As you can see right there, I just wanted to put a quick note at the beginning of the video to explain I'm a day trader. So this watch list is just a starting point for me. I'm 100% cash by the closing bell every day, and I only take trades if I get an A+ setup on an intraday chart from one of these, or maybe a morning gap play or something that my trade ideas scanners pick up throughout the day, right? But they're not investment ideas. There are only some charts I'm going to be watching to possibly trade the very next day. All right, so just keep that in mind as you watch the video. So the SPY, another down day, and actually hit the 20-day. It was kind of a weak market today, but also fairly low volume as it's been. Here is what I'm watching for Friday. MNKD had this gap up and huge pop, then another gap up, closed red, and then today gapped up, closed red. So I'm going to watch this to turn back up tomorrow. Doesn't mean it will, but again, only with a proper intraday setup. This is a name. I always want to focus. I like to stay in the realm of what you call stocks that are in play. And if you look at the volume and then you look to the left, it's certainly in play, right? It's getting massive relative volume. So this one is on my watch list for tomorrow. INSY, again, same theme, right? Recent massive relative volume, and now we're 4 red days in a row. We basically have a gap fill now. So, it's taken some of the mustard out of it because it completely round trip, but I still think it's worth watching for a bounce tomorrow. PXLW, really nice move back here. Now you've got 3 red days in a row on lower volume than the big push up, so we're going to watch that for a potential bounce tomorrow. LEJU, same thing, a few days lower into that area between the 20 and the 8-day moving average. So if it's going to bounce, hopefully it should bounce in this area tomorrow. Again, I never guess. I only take trades that give me an intraday A+ setup, one of the setups that we teach in our course. So I don't ever just say, hey, I'm going to buy this and I don't know why. Like I said in a tweet I put out a while ago, I can give you 2 or 3 reasons why I take every trade. And I don't mean, because I have a hunch. It's always, based on the chart, all right, and the action. So anyway, that's LEJU. GEMP had a really big move today. Had this huge gap down here, and it's been going sideways for like a month. I got to share a tweet. Hang on. Okay, I actually tweeted this today. GEMP getting volume because it rhymes with hemp. Hemp, get it? Next pot play. I was just trying to be funny, and next thing I know, some people retweeted me and started calling it the next pot play. So I was like, whoops, just making a joke because it rhymes. Anyway, having said that, it closed pretty darn strong on big volume. So we're going to watch it, see if it give a red to green, something like that tomorrow. NBEV is being touted now as a pot play because I think they own, correct me if I'm wrong, anything I say, because I don't research companies. I'm a trader, but you pick up stuff, from social media when you're trading certain stocks. I think NBEV owns the Bob Marley brand of beverages or something, and then somebody put out a slide from their presentation that they were trying cannabis-infused beverages in Colorado, maybe? That sounds right, doesn't it, Colorado? And so I think speculation out there that they're going to throw cannabis in a Bob Marley beverage, and then with the recent pot stock craze, that could be a big deal for this company. So anyway, having said that, it gapped up and then closed, almost at its lows. But if that's hanging over this stock, right, if I shorted this, I'm going to have that in the back of my mind, and one of these days it might just rip. So I am going to keep it on a chart. If it trades in a narrow range tomorrow and then breaks to the upside, I think you might get a decent little trade. So I definitely want to watch it. CLDR ended up gapping up and closing very strong. So I want to watch this one for a red to green, something like that tomorrow. Very strong move today. SDPI. No one in our chat room could find news on this. There was a group on Twitter posting about it, but they weren't posting news. They were posting, hey, this is going to rip. So unless there was news, and there may have been, but I couldn't find any. Having said that, again, it closed pretty strong. Well off of its highs, but also well off its lows. So I'll also be watching that one for a possible red to green. NLST, I don't generally trade stuff under 50 cents almost ever. And I'm not really interested in this one either, closing at 14 cents, except that in after hours is trading at like 28 cents. So trading all the way up here. So if it holds that area, and then we log in the morning and it gaps up near this area, it might give a nice trade after the open. So I am going to watch it. Couple more. VHC Kind of reminds me of, I'll go back real quick, INSY, right? You had the huge move, and then it came all the way down and round tripped. Well, you kind of have that with VHC. You had the gap up, and it came down and round tripped, and it actually had a nice move today. It's a nickel spreader, and I hate trading nickel spreaders on stocks that are, low priced, because I don't want to give up a nickel just to buy it as it's, breaking the high of day or breaking some sort of inflection point. But I do like the fact that it turned up and, over today's high over 340, you're not that high away from the high of the gap up day. So I'll watch it. But just remember it's a nickel spreader, which that does not make things easy. By the way, I think those nickel spreaders are going to be, that whole experiment is going to be ended in early October. Again, don't quote me on that, but I thought I read that somewhere. And then EYPT, nice volume for this stock. It's a low volume stock generally. I mean, this volume spike here was barely over 1 million shares, but fairly close to its highs. I certainly like it over today's high, over 240. You can kind of picture a trend line. Follow my cursor here, from here to here. So it might just break out over a trend line one of these days. Anyway, I'm going to watch that too. I'm not in love with this list, but hopefully, I only need 1 or 2 good setups and good trades out of this whole list, and we're going to add gappers to the list as well in the morning. So, all right, I'm going to leave it at that. We'll see everybody on Friday.